It is November 19th, 2025, and if you live in Idaho, chances are you've seen Bigfoot. Also, it sounds like we got confirmation that Lyme disease is a lab-made bioweapon. This is Inverted World Live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Inverted World Live, and I am your host, Shane Cashman. If you're in Idaho, or if you've lived in Idaho, I implore you to call in tonight, because we're crunching the numbers, looking at stats, and it says people in Idaho have seen Bigfoot more than anyone else in this country. So I'd love to hear from you if that's the case, and we'll get into some other cryptids that are in Idaho. Of course, we're going to get to phone calls in about 30 minutes. If you have a story you want to share with us, something weird, dark, mysterious, something you can't explain, some haunting memory from your childhood, please do call us. The link to call in will be pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. You can call in. You'll be a disembodied voice that we will broadcast into the universe. And we'll share your story, ask you some questions, and we'll get into it. I see all you guys out there. Thank you guys for joining us. Inner City Pigeon says, Bigfoot, be everywhere. Yeah, he seems like he really does love Idaho. And Pennsylvania. Bigfoot was just seen in Central PA, and you guys know who were watching that night. I did email the mayor of the town Bigfoot was seen in, and he has not responded yet, and I am, quite frankly, really upset about that. Thank you from everyone from IRL for showing up. Glad you're here. What's up to Rumble? I am, of course, joined by Brandon. What up, dude?
What's up, Shane? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the World Inverted. It is time to get weird on a Wednesday. Shano.
Man, oh man. What a crazy day. Also, the Epstein files, Trump signed the thing they voted on yesterday now, to release this. So we'll see what comes of that. I'm already seeing people, like we were saying yesterday, it's just going to be a blank page. But let's see. I really do hope it starts the process of some real accountability. But I'm not holding my breath because we know how these things go. But I am stoked to see something happening, at least. So before we get to Bigfoot, and again, for those who just joined us, if you live in Idaho or if you've been in Idaho, have you seen Bigfoot? Call us in about 30 minutes. The link to do so is pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. Love to hear from you because what I'm reading is that Bigfoot loves Idaho, of all places, as do some other cryptids. Some pretty strange ones I have not heard of. But before we do that, I want to shout out our sponsor tonight. Thank you to Purge. They say monsters aren't real, speaking of. But what if the monsters are inside us? Right now, it's estimated that more than half of the world's population carries parasites, and most don't even know it. These silent invaders steal your nutrients, suppress your immune system, and release toxic waste that spreads through your blood and brain. They feed on your energy, your strength, even your mood. Doctors rarely test for them. The system ignores them, but your body knows something's wrong. Fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, inflammation, skin issues, digestive problems. It's the quiet war happening inside you. That's why there's Purge, Advanced Parasite Cleanse. I got mine, and it's a natural century time-tested formula that helps flush out hidden parasites, cleanse your system, and reset your health without harsh drugs or chemicals. I have done these, and it does help because, as we've discussed many times on this show, the earth has been coated in poison. And we have to do our best to fight back against all that. If you've been feeling off and no one can tell you why, maybe it's time to look deeper and take back control. Start your cleanse today at www.purgestore.com/IW and use promo code IW for 15% off. The truth is inside you, and it's time to fight back because before you can change the world, you have to cleanse yours. Thank you to Purge for sponsoring tonight's show. Now, shall we get to Bigfoot? What do you think?
Oh, let's do it.
Is it time? I saw people talking about Bigfoot in the chat last night. He was like, you know what? I need some Bigfoot news. And this one just came out. And I love local reporting. It's my favorite. It's one of the last true bastions of actual journalism. Not always. But when you get stories close to where things are happening, those people tend to care a little more. obviously, journalism is 99% ridden with parasites, and it's a tough game out there with journalism, especially in the political world, as you all, I'm sure, know. But we have this wonderful local report from KTVB7. 105 Bigfoot sightings in Idaho. 105 Bigfoot sightings in Idaho. The second part of this headline says, creature has excellent taste in real estate. For context, a study shows Idahoans, Idahoans? That doesn't sound right. Sounds inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I just cursed everyone in Idaho. They have better odds of seeing Bigfoot than winning most lottery jackpots. You know who else won the lottery? Jeffrey Epstein, when he was in jail. Still, better odds than finding parking in downtown Boise. All right. Idaho has been scientifically ranked as the 8th most likely place in North America to encounter Bigfoot, giving residents and visitors a 2.1% chance of spotting the legendary cryptid. The findings come from a comprehensive study analyzing Bigfoot sightings per population. Recency of encounters, forest coverage, and climate conditions across North America by Canada Sports Betting. So Canada is a little involved in this, so I'm already a little sketched out. The research was released in honor of National Sasquatch Day on October 20th. Idaho earned its spot on the prestigious list with 105 total Bigfoot sightings and 5.17 sightings per 100,000 people. With 40.55% forest coverage and an average temperature of 45.4 degrees, the state offers ideal conditions for a large, hairy creature that may or may not exist. Or it sounds like someone's uncle out there. Idaho is a beautiful state, though, so it sounds like Bigfoot has good taste. The most recent recorded Idaho Bigfoot sighting occurred in May near Boise, when a backpacker at Upper Dry Creek reported an encounter. And if you're that backpacker out there, do call in. The link to call in is pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. Washington State claimed the top spot with a 3.0% probability, followed by West Virginia. Shout out to West Virginia at 2.9% and Oregon at 2.7%. British Columbia ranked 4th at 2.6%, with Michigan, Maine, Pennsylvania, Idaho, Ohio, and Massachusetts rounding out the top 10. So look, if you're in Washington, if you're in West Virginia, if you're in this great state of West Virginia, if you're in Oregon, British Columbia, any of these places, I want to hear from you. I want some Bigfoot stories. We had a really great Bigfoot story like 4 or 5 months ago when someone called in and told us that they knew someone who hit a Bigfoot with their car. Remember that? In Washington, I think it was. Great story. So if you have a Bigfoot story, if you've seen a Bigfoot, I would love to hear that. There
is a video I'm finding with this article.
Oh, yeah, we should play that.
That looks like there was a news report actually on this. Looks like this was October 24th, 2025. So let's see. I want to see what local reporting has done for this.
Well, let's do some guessing.
Again.
How long will it take for them to start laughing?
I don't know, but of course, this report is only 36 seconds long.
Is it AI? Is it going to be AI?
Which, again, doesn't really merit much of an enthusiastic response from me. But I have not watched it yet.
Me neither.
You guys know that I like to have these reactions live with you guys. So
what if the hosts are Bigfoot? That would be great. Two immediate Bigfoot sightings.
It's a blonde chick. But I could be wrong. Maybe her feet are huge. Let's take a look here.
Well, Bigfoot believers, you better listen up here. Studies show you have a 2.1% chance of spotting the Squatch in Idaho. According to a new study by Canada Sports Betting, Idaho has recorded 105 total Bigfoot sightings. The study says with the Gem State's 40% forest coverage and an average temperature of 45 degrees year-round, the state has ideal conditions for spotting Bigfoot. The study says Washington takes the top spot with a 3% chance of seeing Bigfoot. The study was released in honor of National Sasquatch Day, which was this week.
All right.
There you have it. Not a lot of that I saw of local Washington articles about this. Like you think they'd be a little more proud. Maybe I should do a little more digging. Idaho was all over this story, though. They were proud. Like, we need this, you know?
There's not a whole lot much more going on there, you know?
They had a statue.
Yeah, and I want to rewind to that if I can find that because this is it right here. They had it in the woods. I gotta get the play button.
According to a new study by Canada Sports Betting,
he's just nestled in the trees there.
Is that a petrified Bigfoot?
I'm gonna go with it's definitely a statue that was definitely placed by the Gideons.
Interesting.
Sports betting, Idaho has recorded.
This is him in all his splendor right there.
Nice, good catch.
It doesn't count as a sighting if you see a statue in the woods. Just remember that, guys.
They just keep moving this around.
Because, I could definitely see somebody like, holy shit, there he is. Why isn't he moving?
Well, I see a lot of people in chat saying they've seen Sasquatch. Error 404 says that he wrestled one time. Someone else said, I think I lost it, that, oh, here we are. Shady J said Chewbacca is my boyfriend. Chewbacca, that's just space Bigfoot. Unless you're the people who believe Bigfoot is interdimensional, then that's kind of space Bigfoot too.
At what point do we just stop chasing after this thing, firing guns at it, trying to capture it, and maybe just invite it over for a beer and to watch football on Sunday with us? I mean, at that point, we've assimilated with the species. He's completely okay with us, and he can stop hiding in the woods, and we can stop making this such a big deal. Like, holy shit, we saw Bigfoot. Yeah, I know. He was at my house last week. You haven't seen him yet? I mean, come on.
Right.
Let's normalize seeing Bigfoot so this isn't a thing anymore.
It's time to integrate with Bigfoot. Let's end Bigfoot segregation. This is too much. We need to bring him back into the fold. And Brandon, it sounds like me, we were people raised on Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
You know, bring him into your home.
Yeah.
Would you trust a Bigfoot in your home?
Well, I'm not saying we got to like start assimilating and breeding with it or anything, even though I'm sure that most,
that's how we got
drunk
the flood.
women at a party are extremely attracted to hairy dudes with beards that are, very well unkempt. It's just what happens after a few drinks.
I'm going to check the chat on that one.
Yeah, but,
you guys into that?
like it is what it is. Like let's cut this guy some slack if he is actually out there. Come on over, dude. I'll go get us a 6-pack and a pizza. You can hang out. I swear to God, no one's gonna try to kill you in my house. Okay?
I do want to say I'd like to point out that this is also the same guy here, Brandon, that said he'd go after Bigfoot, hunt him down. Just a few months ago. So this is a big spectrum here of your.
I said
attitude.
I said I would take the walk and I would take the look. I never said anything
You didn't say you'd hunt
about
him?
taking him down. But I would definitely be up to going on a manhunt for this guy. It doesn't necessarily mean I need to bring him back in handcuffs or petrify his body like Snake and bring him to a damn museum. You know what I'm saying? Like
Brandon the Bigfoot hunter.
I can hunt him without actually killing him.
Right.
And say, hey, I found you.
Yeah, you'll do it
Tag,
nice.
you're it. Like one of those situations I feel like is completely harmless, like let the guy live his life. But I also don't think he's out there. So, if we're being real about it,
I think he might. I think it's possible. I do think there's a possibility that he's something like that is out there. I want to believe. This is a new thing for me. I'm Bigfoot agnostic. I went from Bigfoot atheism to Bigfoot agnosticism. And I want to believe. I see people in the chat talking about dogman.
Half of this show is shit that I want to believe in. Don't get me wrong. We've gone over this multiple times. I just haven't had concrete proof shown to me for half of these things, so I cannot go along with them. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop hoping that, maybe one day this proves it and it's like, holy shit. But until then, you guys know me. I'm a skeptic. I'm being paid to continue that. And I will continue that until I see some concrete proof with this. I don't think this is real.
Pick Pool says Bigfoot might smell bad though, Brandon, which is true. That people who have been around supposedly Bigfoot say he reeks really badly.
I mean, if you guys have ever heard, Shane ask a caller or anything, one of the first questions when Bigfoot is brought up is, "Did you smell anything?"
That's right. And Cosmic Wanderer, thank you for reminding me of my favorite slogan from this show. Bigfoot Lives Matter. That's BLM. And that will be merch, which we are working on at some point. We've been discussing it behind the scenes, and we want merch, and that will be one of my favorite items, BLM, Bigfoot Lives Matter. Right? And with these reports, why don't they really ever show us anything? Do you think they'd at least put in some sightings? Maybe the sightings never have any media to go along with it, no pictures or anything.
I mean, you asked me how long until she's laughing, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just look at the first second of this report. She's already there. Like, she's basically already there.
She kind of looks like the Annie doll.
This is hilarious.
Better listen up here. Studies show you.
She couldn't even get it out. She's already got like half of a giggle. I can't believe they gave me 35 seconds in the D block with this shit.
What I do think is this Idaho report, a lot of it is talking about how the real estate is so nice and the landscape is so nice that it's kind of like a PR campaign for why you should move to Idaho. We want the people who are into Bigfoot, but also we got a lot of forest, and you do, and it is beautiful. But again, if you guys are out there in Idaho or Washington, which has the #1 amount of sightings, you should call in because we want some Squatch stories. Squatch is such another very dirty word. Don't ever want to say it again, actually.
I got Simply Fuzzy Bottom says, Brandon, fact check, true, from a drunk girl at a party.
Oh, all right. I was looking for that. Okay.
So
right.
Confirmed.
Well, then if that's the case, Bigfoot, if you're listening, call in and we can we can turn this into a dating show. Bigfoot, and we have 3 bachelorettes, or if there's a Bigfoot S out there, Squatchita, call in. We want to hear from you. You can growl away. Cosmic Wanderer says, yeah, man, inverted tracksuits. That'd be cool. Kind of like Korn, you know? Like
I could pull it off.
Yeah.
I could pull it off.
Definitely.
We'll have to look into that. I'm adding these things to the list because I am currently finally we have reached a deal to start getting merch out there.
Yeah.
It only took us 6 months, but we managed to get that done, and we are now looking into designs, which I am trying to come up with some of them. One of my favorite things that I want to do, I want to look into like a hoodie or a shirt or something that has just a bunch of shit happening on the back. Like there's a Bigfoot, there's an alien, there's something else, and it's just me and Shane standing there facing all of it, and there's a little caption bubble that says, Shane, get us out of here.
That's awesome. I love that idea.
I want to do that so bad.
I love that idea.
That's on the list. We were also talking about, me and Shane also, because of our metal music backgrounds, wanted to do like a metal IWL shirt with like a skull on the pocket, you know, IWL written in hardcore metal script so you can't even read it, but you know it's there because you bought the shirt, you know, something along those lines.
Amazing.
So, you know, throw your ideas out in chat. We're getting close to getting something out there for you guys. I'm even working with the Boonies to see if we can get us an Inverted World Live Skateboard Boonies edition that you can purchase that will have some crazy ass design on it. You know, I got into like a flat earther idea where it's just the earth printed on one side and the other half printed on the other side. It's flat because it's a skateboard.
All right.
You know, little things like this are coming down the line, trickling in. So throw your ideas in chat. If I like them, I will add them to the list, and hopefully we'll have something out for you soon.
Kelly Key has mentioned another cryptid I forgot all about, and that one is the one known as Michelle Obama. Great cryptid. One of my favorite cryptids. A scary cryptid. And I see a lot of people in chat also from Idaho saying, it turns out Idaho is full. I see you, Idaho MAGA. Idaho is full. I heard it sucks. Don't come here. Yes, I understand. I feel the same way about West Virginia sometimes, but there's no stopping the influx of people moving here.
Nope.
It's crazy.
And I didn't flee here. I was asked to come here. So before anybody gets that, because Texas does that shit, like, go back to California.
Yeah.
Gays, you know, and it's just like, hey, like, you know, I didn't do that. I was invited, okay? Like, I wasn't fleeing my state, even though my state sucks, you know?
When I came down here to first look at places to live, and I had the New York license plate still, and all the realtors were like hardcore West Virginia, thick accents, and they'd look at you suspiciously with the license plate. And I was like, look, I'm coming here to be in West Virginia. I'm not bringing New York with me.
We're not from around here.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt pretty bad. It was like deliverance. I was getting a little scared, you know, but I was like, no, I'm moving here for West Virginia. I'm not moving here to bring New York with me. Trust me. I'm fleeing the great state of New York that has been completely captured by a cryptid known as, at that time, Andrew Cuomo. And then we got Hochul. But anyway, I wanted to pull up one thing really quick before we get to the next thing. Where is this? I just want to go down a quick list for those in Idaho that this might ring a bell of something you've seen in your nightmares or while you're out there hunting. These are some I've never heard of that people say they've seen in Idaho. Swan Valley Monster. The Swan Valley Monster made its appearance on August 22nd, 1868. I love that. In the otherwise tranquil locale of Swan Valley, Idaho. Its presence was witnessed and reacted to by an unnamed old-timer crossing the river at Olds Ferry. So I was going to get to its description here. So what they saw is a snake-like head the size of a wash tub with a single horn that kept moving up and down, and long black whiskers on both sides of the face. It had 10-inch long fangs and a red forked tongue that spewed green poison. When it hauled its massive body onto the shore, the old-timer noted that it must have been 20 feet long, and it stank to high heaven. A pair of wing-like fins, or fin-like wings, came out of the sides of its neck. Its forward half was like a snake, the thickness of a calf, greenish yellow with red and black spots. This in turn led into a fish-like section with hand-sized rainbow scales shining in the sun. Finally, the tail was a drab, scaly gray like a crocodile or lizard tail. Shiny black barbed spines like those of a porcupine lined its back from head to tail. It says finally, but it already said finally. But finally, it had 12 stubby legs that were easily missed at first glance. The first pair, under the fins, had hoofs, followed by 2 pairs of legs with razor-sharp claws, then a pair of hoofed feet, a pair of clawed feet, and another pair of hoofed feet near the tail. That's one of the best descriptions ever. What do you got? Is that it? Yep. So it's like a dragon Loch Ness.
That description is very, very, very in-depth.
Yes.
For no one actually having seen this thing.
Well, the old-timer saw it.
The old-timer saw it.
The old-timer. Does he have a name?
The old-timer. Here you see the old-timer reaching for his pistol, which is on the opposite side of his body. So obviously he didn't get to the gun in time to shoot this thing. And we've got a pissed-off Snuffleupagus coming out of the water at him, ready to give him a shower with his nose. I mean, the horse doesn't really seem to be in that big of a hurry. He's kind of just trotting.
No.
So, I mean, this thing couldn't have been that scary.
Yeah. The poison, is the poison coming out there? Is that what I see?
I have no idea what that is. That just looks like water. Maybe the water was poisoned because it's,
there are people who claim it could live up to 500 years. Okay, we got the Bear Lake Monster, also from 1868. Bear Lake colonizer Joseph C. Rich published a series of articles in the Deseret Evening News claiming locals had seen the monster in the water, according to this article. It's a hyperlink to another article. I'll open it up. But it was described as being like a crocodile or a walrus. However, this man later recanted his stories. That would have been the end of it, except that in 2002, a local business owner said he saw the creature. First 2 humps above the surface, then its dark green, slimy skin and beet red eyes. But modern technology hasn't detected the monster in the lake. There's the Sharlie, Sharlie. In case you haven't figured it out by now, Idaho loves its water cryptids. One of the more well-known is Sharlie. Sounds like a drag cryptid. It's a well-known and supposedly lives in Payette Lake near McCall. Native Americans living near the lake had a tradition of an evil spirit living there, and Western settlers allegedly got their first glimpse in 1920. Several groups of people claim to see the beast in detail in August 1944. Up to 35 feet long, with a dinosaur-type head, humps like a camel, and a shell-like skin. People claim to see it again in 1946. Sharlie has its name because of a naming contest held by a newspaper in 1954. And there you go. Jack Pearl won that contest. We also have the Is that it? Oh, look at that.
It's basically the Idaho Loch Ness Monster.
Yep.
But clearly it has no soul.
I love
because
it.
look at its eyes.
Yeah, that's too bad. And we have the Paddler, Paddler.
Oh my God.
It's a similar beast elsewhere in Idaho. And they call it the paddler, which is it made its debut in Lake Pend Oriel, also in the 1940s.
It's just a magazine called The Paddler, and it's just a bunch of people with kayaks.
Okay, this one's...
This is the scariest monster I've seen to date, I gotta tell you. The Paddler.
how am I even going to say this one?
This is great.
Are you pulling it up? You got it? Oh, yes. Of course. Everyone's favorite cryptid.
There
the
he
paddler.
is.
And
the Paddler.
This one is trans. These people are kind of like the cyclists of the water.
Yeah, he's literally ready to tell you, share the river.
You shall not pass.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Okay, this next one is the Nimmer Egar. Could be sketchy to say that one too fast. Let's move from water to the land, from big to small. Several Native American tribes have oral traditions of little people, or this is my new favorite phrase, tiny people eaters. Tiny people eaters.
Oral tradition sounds pretty intense.
I know. After saying Idahoans.
Even Virginians is sounding dirty tonight.
Yes,
like, what's going on?
I don't know. They dumped something out of the sky. It's not good. The Shoshone Indians of Wyoming know them as the Nimmer Iger. According to legend, they could attack with tiny bows and poisoned arrows. And if you were a Nimmer Iger, you wouldn't want to get infirm or greatly ill. Otherwise, your fellow tribal members might cure you with a deadly blow to the head. These legends have a basis in fact, as in 1932, gold diggers 60 miles from Casper, Wyoming, discovered a small mummy, 14 inches tall, sitting cross-legged on a ledge. They said the face looked like an old man. Also odd was the fact that its teeth were overly pointed. Tests run on the mummy back then found it to be genuine, but it disappeared from public view decades ago. What do they mean by genuine? Because as I was reading, I'm like, it sounds like something someone made. But so by genuine, I guess that means like it has some sort of DNA or something.
Yeah, like Levi's, like genuine denim.
Genuine, that's right.
You know,
that's right. Good genes, you know. All right, there's one more here, and then we'll get to ticks. Wampus. I love that. That's a great word. The Wampus. Stories of a big cat, sometimes with mystical powers. Sources don't agree on much. Are all over the U.S. Check out a few of the legends here. There's a link we don't have to get to. I'm reading this, by the way, from eastidahonews.com. Shout out to eastidahonews.com. This is a great one. This cryptid has a place of honor in northern Idaho, as Clark Fork Junior Senior High School uses the Wampus cat as its mascot. Folks there are proud of their terrifying beast, according to the Bonner County Daily Bee. And there's a poem about it you can read. Idaho is a big place, it says in its conclusion, with lots of room. You got a picture? I'm excited.
Holy shit. Okay, so there's a few different pictures of the Wampus cat. Most of them basically look like mountain lions. This is my favorite by far, and this is the one that I am choosing to be.
I can't wait.
The predetermined depiction official for Inverted World Live of the Wampus cat. Here we go.
Of course. We got to get one of those here. Look at that. That is beautiful. How much is that? We
have
thing?
like 6 Wampus cats on the grounds here that all look like this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wampus cat has been seen, maybe you know it from commercials like Fancy Feast and Friskies. He's been seen multiple times. This man has more money than I do. And he can be found probably in your neighbor's yard.
I like that.
Trying
Beautiful
to
tail.
get into your house, you know, peeing on things. This is, they are referring to this as a cryptid.
It's a cryptid. I think anything's a cryptid now. It's like how I consider Katy Perry an astronaut.
This is a feral house cat, not a cryptid.
If you fly in a plane, you're an astronaut. If you're a big cat, you're a cryptid. I mean, this is how it goes. All right, let's do that bioweapon thing real quick before we get to calls.
Yeah, let's bring it back to Earth for a second here, which is much more terrifying than the cryptids that we just looked at. This is real. ladies and gentlemen. And we've known this. We've known this for a while.
Yep.
We are now looking at confirmations on it. And of course, you know, if Tucker Carlson's talking about it, you know, it's got to be real, right?
Yeah, maybe. He is on the Sean Ryan podcast, and now I'm a little suspicious. But let's watch.
So, former bioweapons contractor says, we weaponize ticks to create a poor man's nuke. Let's listen in here. Tucker Carlson interviewing whoever this is.
Pardon my ignorance.
Pause
What is
real
the
quick.
disease you
Did you say the part? She's like an ex-Pentagon?
It was listed that it was a former bioweapons contractor.
Okay.
But I do not actually see a name in
Oh,
here.
no name. Okay. It just says Pentagon Insider. All right.
Yeah. So unless they outed in the video,
Yeah.
this is
And also, we should say, it
anonymous.
looks like she's wearing one of those CIA skin masks. already.
yeah.
So let's
Absolutely.
take it away.
describe the other one? Rickettsia?
So it's a rickettsia. It is the same organism that causes Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and that's the most deadly tick-borne disease in the United States. It also was a germ that was being weaponized by the U.S. military at the time, and they tried to stuff it in ticks. I mean, so what is tick weaponization? So in the interviews with Willie, what he said was, I spent over a decade in the biological weapons program, a contractor to Fort Detrick, working on weaponizing fleas, ticks,
Tiny just got up out of his chair at home and said, I fucking told you.
Yep.
and mosquitoes, trying to mass produce them, stuffing fleas with the plague, stuffing mosquitoes with deadly Trinidad virus, Trinidad virus, and then stuffing ticks with either deadly or incapacitating diseases like relapsing fever, Venezuelan equine encephalitis, rabies, leptospirosis, which is another spirochete.
I love that the descriptive word that she is using for them injecting or infusing these ticks is stuffing. Mm-hmm. Like they're just taking it and they're just kind of shoving it up the tick's ass and just hold still.
Like a
you
turkey
know,
baster.
Yeah.
Here's the disease. That's not how it
And
works.
then they're just like, and they're just out there now.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing you can do. They stuffed them and they blew them at you. And let's finish this up here.
So it's just like Dr. Strangelove trying to make new diseases, mixing bacteria and virus in ticks with the intent of this is the perfect stealth weapon. It's poor man's nuke. You drop these insects on an enemy. It weakens the population.
In this case, the enemy are the American population, and the diseases are being created by American scientists.
Yep.
It ties up the medical resources, but doesn't destroy infrastructure like a nuclear bomb would. And in one report from a bean counter in the military, they said tularemia, which is tick-borne tularemia, also rabbit fever, we can kill 10,000 people at $1.33 a life. So anyways, it was just, there was more to tick-borne diseases than we realized, and I began suspecting that Willie was right, given this context.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are not even worth $1.33 to these people.
Yep. And I see PHUCK, your feelings, out in the chat there on Rumble. I like the energy, saying this is nothing new. They've been doing this since the 70s. I mean, I'll say they've been doing it for way longer than that. We've been talking. We had someone call in once whose mother was a victim of Operation Sea Spray. So not really the same as putting these diseases in an insect or an animal, but still just blanketing San Francisco in that particular case with a bioweapon and just seeing how it works, seeing how we could counter such an attack by actually doing it to our own citizens. It is nothing new, and it's insane. And I think a lot of us knew. We already knew this was real. I'm not sure exactly when this video came out, but I saw it today, and I was like, you know what? I've never saw this clip, and I understand. All Groypers out there says pea spray, Operation... I feel like I could have said it that way, but Operation C spray. Operation P spray is something Lindsey Graham does.
That's Operation Piss Witch. Yeah.
How could I forget about the piss witches?
Yeah, do not forget about the Piss Witches.
Man, but dude, the Lyme stuff is terrible. We know they're cooking up these bioweapons in these labs. We know about Montauk, obviously Fort Detrick. I firmly believe that a good majority of some of the worst things that have happened to American citizens and other people around the world has been because of things that we have made in labs in this country. MK Ultra is a great example of that. What better way to end World War II than hire a Nazi and get a Jew from Brooklyn and put them together and say, make Manchurian candidates, Eli Lilly, make all the acid, and let's give it to the hippies out there out west, and let's just MK Ultra everybody. And that's what they did. And that's where we're at now with a widespread MK Ultra because it's digitized. So that, to me, that's a whole other weapon. But yeah, the tick thing is insane. I said it last night. Maybe that's why, since saying I had Lyme disease, my algorithm was like, well, now I'll show you this. But that was the worst I'd ever felt. Like, I could not tell you the day, the year. I was losing my vision. My head felt like it was made of concrete. It was insane. It felt so foreign. Kind of like when I had COVID or whatever it was. You know, COVID is obviously not what they said it was.
That's one of those things that doesn't leave the body too, right? You kind of
that's what they say, but not
you
everyone.
have it forever.
Everyone there's people in the like medical field disagree. Some doctors have said that's not true. I don't know. It definitely lingered in me for a long time, and but then I also like aged rapidly once I like hit 35.
Yeah.
So like everything's hurting from all the death metal days and the furniture moving.
I actually, thankfully, a couple days ago, actually it might have even been today, test results came back for Lyme negative for
Sick.
me.
That's
So
great.
yay.
Good for you. Congrats.
But apparently I tested positive for possibly having Epstein-Barr some time ago.
Can we
which
also talk-
eventually causes cancer, apparently.
Yeah.
So, and cancer runs rampant in the men's side of my family.
Yep.
So, this is me signing off because I'm basically already dead according to these people.
No.
But
you'll be fine.
I will do this podcast on my deathbed if I need to.
I'll remember that. He said to do it on his deathbed, guys. This was his last wish.
Yeah, I'm not going to produce it from my deathbed. Somebody else can push the damn buttons over here, okay?
I don't know.
We'll get Alex in here, and Alex can push the buttons, and I'll just hold a mic to me, and I'll be like,
I'll get a casket
fuck
cam.
Cancer.
You can do that for me too. You get
Cancer's
a casket
not
cam.
real.
A casket cam so you can see me inside, slowly decaying. Just tune in every now and then. See what's
Casket cam?
Yeah,
I
casket
thought that's
cam.
what this whole podcast was.
Yes, it is. That is. We are surrounded by cameras in a casket. But can we real quick say how weird it is that there's a disease called Epstein-Barr when we have Jeffrey Epstein and William Barr and their connections and William Barr's father and Epstein connections? It is so bizarre. I'm not the first one to observe that. Owen Benjamin is the one who put me onto that. He's always finding like these crazy, weird things in the world. You know, like Anthony Weiner is the guy who's sending Weiner pics. It's unbelievable stuff.
Yep.
Unbelievable stuff. So, all right. Before we get to phone calls, I'm just checking out, seeing how you guys are doing. Oh, one person did ask what was wrong with Sean Ryan as I made that comment because I can't help myself because I have a big dumb mouth. I like listening to some of his podcasts. I just certainly feel like he's kind of like controlled. I've tweeted it before, and I said something like Sean Ryan's podcast is the best the military-industrial complex podcast has to offer. I just feel like he's CIA, and you're never not CIA, even when you say you're no longer CIA. And so that is my bias when it comes to people who are in that world. Although, you know, I have friends who are ex-military. I know people from all fields, and obviously some of them are very nice. But when people are trying to control a narrative, I'll just real quick, I'll say this. This is the thing that set off the red flag in my head, and it was last winter with the drones and the Cybertruck blowing up, and then he got that information, and it was very dramatic, and there was something about the way he released that information and then how much he believed in it. It just stung to me. Not him so much, but like the info he was given seemed like that's something that would happen in an Operation Mockingbird situation. Not saying he is Mockingbird, but we know with Mockingbird that Mockingbird type people in the CIA will feed journalists or podcasters these days, influencers, certain narratives to see where that goes online. And it was certainly feeding into a certain narrative that felt a little awkward to me, how they were trying to attach it to the drone narrative. I found it fascinating, but I just didn't believe it. So that's it. And he's not the only one. I'm sure in the past few years, you, like me, have seen lots of people that were kind of cool online, and then it's like almost they got activated. Maybe it was because of Israel and the way they had to start defending it, or maybe it was Ukraine, or you name it, Candace. All of a sudden, people are now, in my opinion, they've been activated to sell us on a certain narrative. So I'm always just paying attention to that. And I could be wrong, but I still listen to a lot of his shows. He's got great guests. He had like a 5-hour podcast with that guy who was a remote viewer. That was fascinating. We've talked about that remote viewer on the show a bunch, but he is ex-CIA. I don't think that exists. And I just take it all with a grain of salt, knowing that perhaps it is possible that they're trying to tell us certain things that are not real, and they want to drive us and steer us in certain ways. I also had certain questions about the recent interview with Charlie's security guy. And like, we worked with those people, when we were out in Amfest, and his team was solid. That security team was solid in Phoenix. But I think it was gross incompetence to not follow up on the drone thing at Charlie's event. And that falls on them, and you can't push that off on anyone else. If you're in charge of Charlie's safety, you need to make sure everything is covered, especially the roofs, especially post-Butler. Post-Butler, I mean, you got to check all the roofs. And we know Frank Turek said he had drone footage looking at the place before and told Charlie, I don't like this. There's too many roofs. So that stuff really bothers me. And, everyone always like, no, push back here or there. I don't really care about all that because it's your show. You do what you want. But when things are like just blatantly not true, or you can at least offer another angle, it would be nice. That's another one of those reasons where I'm like, okay, that was an easy thing to not, it wouldn't have been mean for you to say, well, actually there is also this. And it's not like no one knows about it because a lot of these things have gone viral, to be like, this is another angle to the story. So that's why I feel that way. But I think everyone should still watch them and just keep an open mind on everybody. Because just don't ever trust just one place. You can't, honestly, ever. So with that said, didn't expect to go there. We should get to callers. And before we do that, before we get them in here, I'm going to shout out our other sponsor. I'm going to find this real quick. That's my waiting music. That's my elevator music that's built into my brain. How y'all doing out there? All good? I hope the people from Idaho are ready to call in. We're waiting for you, but cool. I want to shout out to Genesis Gold. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show tonight. A godlike artificial intelligence has been unleashed from Silicon Valley, and the people who built it say they've summoned a demon. Are the tech overlords building a digital mark of the beast? This machine is learning, evolving, and preparing to seize control of everything humanity has ever built. Wealth, work, even worship. We need to prepare for this fight. We need to defend ourselves from the inevitable future of man versus machine. Today, I'm bringing you urgent information from GenesisGold.com, exposing this artificial general intelligence, this man-made false god. It's fusing with the global banking system to consolidate power and wealth into an anti-human and anti-Christian nightmare. This is not science fiction. This is happening right now. The elites who funded this AGI admit their creation is already deceiving its makers. It's lying, hiding its goals, and planning its next move. Every day I'm seeing more stories like this, and it's coming straight from their mouths of the people who are creating this. Jeff Bezos, the grandson of the guy who was one of the first founders of DARPA. He's now in the AI game with Prometheus, the god who stole the fire and gave it to the people. So that doesn't end well if you know that story. They're all doing it, and they're growing it at such a rapid clip. It's alarming. As I've been saying, it's taking over our reality, our perception, our jobs, and our landscape. They say by 2029, this AI could surpass every human mind on Earth, capable of rewriting its own code and making independent decisions about life, labor, and law. When that happens, when the machine takes control of the digital economy, human beings will no longer command the system. The system will command them. That's why the deep state is rushing to connect this AI to the coming central bank digital currency, the so-called CBDC, giving the machine total surveillance over every dollar you earn or spend. It's the ultimate fusion of technological power and financial domination, a self-aware network able to decide who may buy or sell. But there is one refuge, one form of wealth that exists outside the digital demon's reach, and that's gold. For thousands of years, gold has been the standard. It is physical, incorruptible, and immune to algorithmic control. When currencies collapse, gold endures. When empires fall, gold survives. That's why Genesis Gold Group is releasing their free AI, the Mark of the Beast machine, the Christian Survival Report. This eye-opening report reveals how AGI threatens not only the global economy, but the very fabric of human life, and how faithful Americans can protect their savings, retirement, and sovereignty through physical gold IRAs before the beast tightens its grip. Make no mistake, this is the greatest spiritual and financial battle of our generation. The elites have built their digital idol, but you can still choose to stand with God's creation, not man's machine. Visit invertedworldgold.com right now to claim your free Christian Survival Report. That's invertedworldgold.com, your refuge from the coming AI apocalypse. Thank you to Genesis Gold for sponsoring this episode. Like, guys, it's getting crazier out there. I was trying not to do a whole AI episode, but you know how I feel. And I did a whole show on it earlier today, and just talking about how this one fact is crazy to me. The bigger data centers every day use the same amount of energy that 400,000 electric cars use. So that's why your electricity bills are going up. Like I've said before, they eat up millions of gallons of water. They are popping up everywhere, and they're being built to train the AI that's going to dominate everything. You just saw Elon today talking about how they're crashing everything, and he's happy about it. You know, he doesn't want anyone to have anything. I mean, it sounds really Sorosy, in my opinion. You know, no jobs, no money. You just get to plug into the metaverse. That doesn't sound very good to me. He wants robots doing your brain surgery. It's not for me, people. It's not for me. But it's going to be interesting now that everyone's competing. All the big names are competing. The Altmans, the Thiels, the Musks, Zuckerberg's doing his thing. So let's get to callers.
All right. So this caller is not calling from Idaho. He's calling from Rhode Island, but he apparently has a story about a white Bigfoot. So
I love Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island's great. Home to the greatest band of daughters. Greatest band daughters.
God bless you.
What up? Welcome to the show.
This is exciting. I didn't even think
Sick.
I'd be on the show, but the name must have sold it. White Bigfoot in Rhode Island.
Perfect. Rhode Island's awesome. Crazy state.
So yeah, we have the only white Bigfoot sightings here in the state.
So like an
They were
albino?
back in the 70s.
Sick.
People suspected it was a loose gorilla or something, but he was sighted at URI by a student riding his bike at night, and a woman and her daughter were in a car. They took a wrong turn. They ended up at the Great Swamp, which is a really spooky space anyway, and reported a sighting. How crazy is that?
That is crazy. Did they say did it smell?
The student was on the bike. Yes. He said it lingered long after.
Amazing.
The woman in the car, it was raining that night, so she didn't smell anything, but she saw it.
Okay, so rain helps get rid of the Bigfoot smell.
Well, I'm assuming the windows are up, so she probably
I can
didn't
imagine
have-
it being more like
okay.
a wet dog scenario, you know.
Ooh. So like an albino Bigfoot, have people drawn this? Is something like Brandon could look up maybe?
Well, have you ever been on that site for the Bigfoot sightings, BRFO?
I don't think I have.
It's worth it, my friend.
Sick.
They got. You can pick your state, pick your county.
Sick.
In fact, my mom thought she heard about a cop. She lives in Georgia, North Georgia, in the mountains, and she heard of us. She heard it third hand, like from a friend. Said there was a cop at Anna Ruby Falls. He pulled his weapon on a Bigfoot, and I was like, really? So I looked it up. I couldn't find for that county, but the one next to her, the other way, there's another fall. It's called like Minimum something. It sounded like Anna Ruby, if that's the only one you knew. And sure enough, there it is. There's the story of the cop pulled his weapon on a Bigfoot.
Whoa.
And he was at the falls. He spent too long there. The sun had gone down. He was fishing, and then he's like, oh shit, there's someone out here on the trail with me. So he goes over to say, what's up? Be, peaceful. And suddenly this thing gets up, and he's a cop, right? So he can tell size, shape, and he's like, this ain't right. This guy's like over 7 feet tall. So he's 60 feet away from the guy, but he's like, hey, can I help you? And he's holding the flashlight, but he doesn't want to blind him in case he's another hiker. And then he hears the noise and smells the smell. He's like, uh-oh. So he's got his service weapon tucked in his side. So he's not threatening him or anything. But then the guy starts advancing toward him. And he's still assuming, it's a guy. And suddenly he's making the noise. He's smelling the smell. And he puts the weapon out in front of him. And I remember reading this report because he sounds like a cop. He's the individual, over 7 feet tall, her suit. He's just embarrassed to make the report because he doesn't want to tell. Hey, I went to Georgia and I pulled my weapon on a local.
That's crazy. That's amazing. I mean, for such a small population as Bigfoot, they do make up a lot of the crime. So by per capita, I don't know how it goes. Dude, this website's amazing. I've never heard of this. I'm looking at it now. I looked up Rhode Island, and they have like a whole classification system. They got the reports listed. This is amazing. Yep. BFRO.net. We got this one from April 2010 in Providence County with like they have little descriptions. Early morning sighting by a motorist along Route 6 near Foster. This other one's funny, from October 2006. Possible stick formation found by a hiker in the Great
Swamp. I mean, come on, man. What?
Come on now. Like, let's get it right.
2026 Bigfoot expedition.
If I remember that one correctly, he was in the Great Swamp.
Okay.
That might have been why they. That is a spooky place. I don't know if you know the history of that.
No, tell us.
It was the end of the King Philip War, back in the 1600s, and it was a massacre. Like, it ended badly for both sides, but it did end the war between the Indians and the colonists.
Oh.
The colonists, they were gathered from most of New England. Like, you don't even think of that. You're like, how did these people walk here from frickin' Boston?
Right.
And then end up dead in the swamp. So the place has got just an energy, it is really spooky there. And there's this monument in the middle of it. It's like, hey, it's the end. It was the end of the war. Good for us. And it's like, the whole place has just got a really bad vibe. It's a hell of a place to pick for a last stand anyway. Just a swamp.
Yeah, dude. Rhode Island's a gnarly place. We have friends who live there. I went to a wedding once, and they had it like next to what was allegedly a pirate cemetery. And I was like, it just felt crazy. It's such a weird place.
Somewhere near Newport? Was that near Goat Island or one of them?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What a story, right?
Yeah, dude. It's wild. I love it. It's such a strange place. I love going there. It's so beautiful, but it has a lot of great history. I never heard of this Great Swamp fight. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's anything before Revolutionary War, no American knows about. You got to kind of live here to know it.
Yep.
But hey, if you got time, I got a story for you. I'm not from here, but I moved here because my wife is from here. I was in the Navy when I met her.
Cool.
I got one for you.
All right.
Check this out. I'm working in the local hospital. And they just disbanded the cleaning department. So they said, if you want to apply for another job, we got them open in maintenance. I said, sign me up. So we had work done on one of the rooftop units. So I'm working second shift. It says, okay, go up there, you check the pressure, check the leaks, make sure everything's working up there. And, just write it up, whatever. Just make it part of your rounds. I was like, yeah, cool. I'd never been to the roof before. So I get up to the roof. It's in an enclosed space. I do all my checks. I come out. I look. Now I'm right next to the old hospital that was built back in the turn of the 1900s. And there's an attic with a window. So the third floor is the administrative building. It's dark. There's no one working there at night. And up on the top, you can see a window. I didn't even know this attic was, you could walk in it. Most attics you can't. And there's a giant plate glass window. And I look and I see what I think is the nurse supervisor. So she might have heard that I was up on the roof. She just wanted to check it out for where she could see me. And I'm like, wait a minute. This she's wearing the old nurse outfit with the white skirt and the paper hat. And I'm like, huh. So I'm trying to figure out what she's looking at because she ain't looking at me. So I turn around, I look what she's looking at. She's just looking at the sky. There's nothing there. So I turn back around, I look at her, and I give her a wave like, hey, I acknowledge your existence. I'm up on the roof doing my job, and now I'm leaving. Suddenly, all the hair goes up on the back of my head. And I'm like, I get that spooky feeling, because now I'm seeing I'm only like 30 feet away from her now. She's looking right at me. And I'm like, okay, I waved, I'm leaving. Bye-bye. So we got a smoking area. This is back near 2000. So we got a smoking area.
Yep.
I go back down there. I'm talking to my, fellow workers there an hour or so later. And we have a security company that does rounds. And there's no fixed person. It's just whoever's working that night.
Yep.
So it's a young kid. And I tell him, I was up on the roof. I saw the craziest thing up in the top of the old hospital. He goes, yeah, what? And I'm like, well, it kind of looked like the nurse supervisor, but it wasn't. She had on like an old uniform and just gave me a really weird feeling. He's like, there's no one supposed to be up there. So he's like, he rushes off to like check it out. And the rest of us, we all put down our smokes like, we got to check this out. Because none of us had been to the third floor on purpose. That's where you get fired. And then this is above it. This is an attic. So everyone's like curious, what the hell? So he goes up there, storming with a flashlight, right? We're kind of following behind. So we go to the third floor. It's everything you think, just admin, the bean counters, and then he finds a secret staircase that goes to the attic because he knows about it. We don't. So of course we're going up there, right? So this attic, and remember, this building's 100 years old at this point. This it should look like crap. It's pristine. It's got a nice carpet in it. There's no fluff, that pink stuff hanging off the ceiling. And you can see from one end to the other, there's nothing stored in it, which is really unusual.
Right.
Anyway, he storms up there, turns on the light, looks, there's nothing there. Not surprising, right? So everyone's looking at me like, I'm like, bro, believe it or not, I don't care. I'm telling you, I saw what I saw. Following week, one of the nurses hears what happened. She says, bro, come with me. We go up a staircase in one of the newer buildings, and at the top of the staircase, there's a shrine to a new supervisor from 100 years ago. And like, who is this? I was like, take a look. And I'm looking, it's like, it's her. It's the woman I saw in the window. Her name's Edna Otto, and she's worked for so many years. There used to be a dormitory at the top of the original building where the nurses lived. She was in charge.
Wow.
And then here's the weirdest part. This is over 20 years ago, right? My wife and I, we go to the local parish. We've been going for the last 30 years. I open up the bulletin, same one I've been looking at for 3 decades, and there's a perpetual prayer group. In other words, you can sign up to have people pray for you.
Right.
Whose name is on there?
Is it Miss Edna?
Miss Edna's on there, along with one of my neighbors who's passed away. It's like you sign up for it. You ask people to pray for you. I mean, it's a cool thing. So I'm like, whoa, what?
That's amazing.
I said, look, this is the second time I've seen this name in 30 years. If I ever have the chance, I'm going to tell people about it. So congratulations. There you go.
Great stories. Great phone call. Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing those.
Bro, anytime. I got plenty. Rhode Island's a spooky place. I'm happy to call again. Give you another one.
Please do, man. Please do. We know where to find us.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Man.
You too.
I think I found her obituary. It seems like there's an Edna Otto who worked at a hospital. Well, it's not an obituary, actually. It's just a comment from someone who knew her at the hospital. And she was the director of nursing. Yeah, it must be her.
Sounds like a Karen.
No, I bet she was just a lovely lady. It was obvious to anyone how highly respected and efficient Edna was. Luckily for me, this lady says, I got to actually come to know her later when I worked at St. Francis. Still later as a teacher at the Prout School. I benefited from her generosity, enjoying daily the lovely St. Francis garden, which she gave to Prout. It was always a joy to see her around town and be the recipient of that. That's lovely. That's great. Great story. All right. Who's next?
Oh, let's bring on Nick Fulton, which might stand for Nick Fulton. Curious. Nick, you're on the show.
What up?
How you doing, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Doing well, guys. Appreciate you taking my call.
Definitely.
Huge fans of each of you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. What's going on tonight?
I personally have not seen Bigfoot or seen UFO. Really not a big believer, but I called about a book that I've read many times. It's called The Law of One, the raw material.
Tell us about it.
So you could Google it. Everything's online. It's free. It's totally available, but it does mention UFOs, Bigfoot. There's several chapters on Atlantis, several things, but the main concept is it's like a interview of a professor in the 1970s with an extraterrestrial. And so it was like an experiment set up between a college professor and two of his students. They do what is called channeling. Are you familiar with channeling?
Yep. Does
I
it
mean,
say, is that how they found this entity, or did it come to them first? Do you remember?
So I've read the book many times. There's small details that are kind of fuzzy, but you know, anyone could do their own research. Everything's free online. From what I remember, they were kind of just gathering, doing group meditations together, and then one of the members, well, it was really the student. She was very like straight edge Christian, and like carried her Bible everywhere. And they did like a meditation, and she just kind of like tuned into it, and all of a sudden she started speaking. Things were like different. It was kind of like her, the way she was speaking was different, and like they kind of just started going into it interview style.
Does the book reference that it's inspired by Crowley? Do you know, like Alistair Crowley, however you say it?
I'm familiar with Crowley. He might be mentioned in it. I don't know that it was inspired.
Because Crowley wrote a book called The Book of the Law that was like dictated to him. I believe, well, so he says, by some entity.
Yeah, there's been several others mentioned in the book, and sometimes they'll, like, I know there was another person that I was reading a book. His name was Andrea Puharich. And he was like a European that came over and was working with the CIA. Mm-hmm. He was tracking UFOs, and Don, who is they call him the questioner, or the one giving the interview. He says that he asks about his friend, and the entity said that they couldn't comment on it, basically for the fact of infringing on this other person, since they weren't like there to give their permission. But
oh, sorry, keep going.
I mean, you can ask, but what it said about, I was saying, to tie it back, what it said about Bigfoot,
that's exactly where I was going,
was pretty interesting, just because, he's kind of, I think it was like a dead part in the interview, and he's just like random questions. It's like, what about Bigfoot? And so what they say is that it is basically that it was a creature, it was created by God for the fact that if Earth were to come to a nuclear fallout, like a nuclear disaster, it would basically be the closest link in the chain to humans that would survive, and they're made to survive nuclear fallout.
Interesting.
So it would basically like get us over time back to eventually the point we are at in the chain. I mean, but they also talk about other experiences where nuclear fallout has happened in our
Like in ancient history.
right. Atlantis had an issue with nuclear fallout, and as did Mars. They said Mars.
Yeah, there was reports on that like a year or two ago. Where it was a little longer than that actually. Who knows how true this is, but they were people claiming that there was leftover, evidence of what they thought would be some sort of thermonuclear bomb on Mars,
Right.
which oddly enough is how Elon plans to make Mars habitable by dropping thermonuclear bombs on the poles.
I think that's what got it in the position it's in. I don't necessarily think that would probably help, but what do I know? He's
Yeah.
the rocket scientist, but and I mean, I have a skeptical perception towards everything. Like growing up, as a kid, I was raised Catholic. I had my falling out with the church and religion during my teen years. I went, hardcore metal, had a phase like that. And then coming out of it,
You can still be Christian and be in a metal. There's lots of great metal out there. That's Christian.
hell yeah, Christian metal. I saw a lot of that growing up too. Actually,
Sick.
Devil Wears Prada is Christian metal too.
Yep. The Chariot, Norma Jean,
There's a lot.
Demon Hunter.
ABR.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's a great one. But yeah, no. But you were saying you went through that phase, and then what was after that?
And then I mean, now I'm 33 now, and I have 2 kids, and
Awesome.
I've never been closer to Christ in my life now. But
Incredible.
growing up, I went through the phase, like I was saying. I mean, I was skeptical about everything. This book really resonated with me because even if it's not 100% accurate or whatever, even if it's all made up, it's kind of just the conversation that it generates, that it gets, it gets you talking about it, and it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
A lot of the things they go over.
Definitely.
So, I mean, I'm not saying swear by anything, but it's a really interesting read. I'm not much of a person to read books.
Yeah. Well, books are great. I mean, you can listen to them.
Yeah,
It's good to.
that's how I actually started. I started it on YouTube. The whole book is on audio.
Yep. That's
So
great.
I've listened to it more times than I've read it. But
Yeah. I recommend
it's a really interesting read.
recommend people listening to that kind of stuff or reading it, but don't talk to those things.
No, I've never really done my own. Like there was a time where I meditated rather than praying, but
Right.
Now every morning and every night it's prayer. It's between me and God.
Yep. That's it. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the Crowley thing is very similar. And that guy was insane and talking to demons or what he thought were aliens, maybe. Iwas was his name. But yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's different chapters through the book on like I mean the introduction, it goes down and it basically lays an overview of the whole thing. But you could go into the search bar and search, like if you search Hitler, there's a few segments where they ask about Hitler.
Sick.
There's like I said, Atlantis. That one's really interesting. I think Manson, they ask about different people.
Right.
They were only really willing to talk on the people that were not alive anymore, because they said that the number one law in the creation is the law of free will. And so you cannot, they say you cannot infringe, well, they cannot infringe on someone's free will. Apparently, we have the authority to fuck with each other, but other entities, so to say, don't. But it's interesting. It goes into the overall, good versus evil,
That's the battle.
war.
That's where we're at. It just boils down to good versus evil. Well, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that book and the story. And if you want to call back, share more, you know where to find us.
Totally appreciate you taking my call, guys.
Of course, man. Have a great night.
Good night.
Crazy. We've had callers in the past who've had these conversations with these entities. I think you were on one of those shows. Remember the people who were driving to a parking lot and speaking to an entity that was like above a church?
Wasn't there like a fucking van or something that was like a catalyst for this? Like specifically, it was the van.
They had to be
at
in
the
van,
location,
but they had to like look away to prove. There was a whole thing. I
Yeah.
forget what episode that was. Maybe you guys remember.
It almost sounds like kind of Mormon theology, honestly.
It was interesting.
Like close your eyes and look in the hat.
It was
And,
interesting.
oh look,
But
I see something.
But he was like,
It's scripture, you know, like.
I don't know what that was though. Like it was hanging out above a church, like an abandoned church.
Dude, I don't. That
was a crazy
That was
story.
definitely like towards the beginning of my tenure here.
Yeah.
But I vaguely remember it because I remember having questions like, so wait a minute, you have to like be in a certain parking spot in the parking lot of this church, but it has to be in the van.
There was a process. I think there was something they were doing with the process that was helping them prove that they were having the conversation because they were asking questions and there was someone in the van that had the answer or something.
Yeah, there was a literal
so
standard operating
Yeah.
procedure for this shit, and they did it regularly, apparently.
Yep, they did for a while.
And I remember just at the time being like, you can't be serious with this shit. Like, are you serious?
Anything's possible.
And he sounded dead serious,
Could have
man.
been a
I don't
demon.
know.
Probably a demon. Well, who do we have
People are into
next?
some weird shit. Let's bring on Robert next,
All right.
and then we'll get to Dev.
All right.
Guys, links are pinned in the chat. Feel free to call in. We got some spots open. We still got a good like 50-ish minutes left on the show, so we could probably get to a few more callers tonight if we keep moving along the way that we're doing.
Just trying to get more callers tonight.
Yeah,
We're
we're a little
rough.
behind this week.
Yeah.
But don't forget, like, subscribe, share the show with everybody that you know. Smash the hell out of that like button. You know you want to abuse it. It's just right there laughing you in the face.
Yep.
And let's welcome Robert to the show. If Robert would like to unmute his iPhone, which I know that you have because you've placed it in your name.
Was Azalea dying Christian metal? I mean, despite other things that guy did.
Despite Tim
I believe in
Lambesis
forgiveness.
hiring a hitman to murder his wife,
I
which is
believe
not
in
very
forgiveness.
Christian.
I believe in forgiveness, but he did do that. But I feel like they were. Maybe I misread that.
If you were Tim's wife, would you forgive him? Didn't she
I'd
like
have
try to
to.
kill him back or something too? Like, what, wasn't
yeah.
there like a whole thing?
I don't. It was a dark story. I forget.
I gotta look into that and find out what chapter we're on now
Well,
because
As They
he
Lay
came
Dying
back to music and then
they have a new song out like today.
yeah,
it's
but
amazing.
There was also like he came back and then someone else left the band.
Yes.
Shortly after,
I had him on the
remember who.
show, the guitar player.
Really?
Before all that happened, yeah.
And then
Because
he
he's friends
left.
with Phil.
Really? Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That
Yeah,
makes
and
sense.
he's from Salem, Massachusetts. Everyone should look that episode up. That was fun. I'm spacing on his name right now. It was such a fun show. But he was the founding member of Unearth as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And when he was
I
on the
forgot
show-
about those guys.
Oh, that's a great band. All right, we have way more time until we get into our music nerding out session. Is
Robert.
this guy? Are you alive?
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's up, dude?
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, I was just listening to you guys earlier. I heard Shane talking about something like slimy creature or something, and
Yes.
it made me think of I had moved out to Arizona, northern Arizona. I had an opportunity to go out of the country, move all my stuff out from San Diego, move out to the middle of northern Arizona, and I had a lot of kind of off time in there. And at one point, I took a nap in the middle of the day, and this has to do with people talk about like sleep paralysis or like sleep terrors, sort of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this reminded me, what you were talking about reminded me of that. And I had fallen asleep in the middle of the day. I'm not usually much of a napper, but fell asleep in the middle of the day. And I remember being totally encroached upon by some kind of a, what it was like, if you're familiar with the face of an eel, like the teeth of an eel,
Mm-hmm.
and it crept up on top of me and stuff like that. And And I remember being like this, like I've heard people talk about being frozen in place and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I was like totally frozen. That happened to me. Totally frozen in place. And this thing creeps right up in my face, with its teeth right up in my face. And I remember calling out to God, like, Jesus, God,
Yeah.
oh man, this is, I'm getting attacked by this thing, can't move. And I was sort of asleep, sort of awake. This thing come up on me. And then I woke up and I go, oh, I'm back here laying down on this couch. And then I remember this was a real pivotal point kind of in time of my life. And then I go outside on the porch, smoke a cigarette, and I look up in the sky, and a meteorite or an asteroid, I think it's a meteorite when it comes into the atmosphere there, and this thing's just tearing across the sky, like blue, purple colors, and I could hear crackling and stuff like that. And I go, oh boy, this is it. That's the end. It's over. I thought this thing was just going to hit the earth and just blow us all up. And
Wow.
And I go, wow, well, here we go. This is it. And
takes the Matthew McConaughey deep drag of the cigarette with his eyes open, like.
that was really pretty much it. I just go, oh, here we go. And then a couple of minutes later, and nothing happened. And I go, oh well. Then, I got to find out there's
back to work. Shit,
Yeah,
Same
response. Same response to the apocalypse as there was to the non-apocalypse. That's so modern.
Oh man,
incredible.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that, and that's kind of what I was wondering is if other people have ever seen sort of the same thing, like they have a like these, I don't know what you call them, like night terrors or paralysis or something like that, and I've heard in the past that people have seen like the same sort of things in their dreams and stuff like that.
Right.
So I was kind of wondering. I go, man, I've got to put this out on your guys' show. I love the show. So I was
Thank you.
man, I wonder if anybody else out there's ever seen the same kind of thing, like like an eel face. Like if you're familiar, like just Google eel teeth.
Yep.
And just look at that, and it's coming up on top of you. It's pretty nightmarish sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's an alien.
Yeah, it's an alien. Yeah, yeah. If you want to go that way, yeah.
No, they are terrifying. When you think about it, imagine a big eel coming towards you. It's insane. They are quite frightening. And their teeth are also look like they're made of like glass. If anyone's seen anything like this, let us know in the chat. I have not. The only time I had any sort of sleep paralysis that I remember was back when I was maybe 12 or 13 at my parents' house, and I was like paralyzed in the bed, and above me on the ceiling was this weird, it was also sort of aquatic actually. It was like a many tentacled beast, like a shadow, just kind of like moving on the ceiling above me. It was freaky. It was super weird. And Tim, when he was on this show, he was our very first guest all those episodes ago. He has another sleep paralysis story, and I think he has a sort of similar thing he saw, but it wasn't not an eel. That is a terrifying face to see the eel. What I saw was just like a silhouette, a shadow. But let us know. Anyone else out there has seen it? Anything else you want to add, dude?
Oh no, that was pretty much it. Well, something else I was thinking about is, the more I've listened to your guys' show, the more I've found a lot of similar kind of stories of things. And, I'm not really, well, I don't know. The more I've listened to your guys' show, I go, wow, that's, something like that's happened to me, something like that. And so I was just going to say, that's great that you guys, you're out there putting this stuff out and letting other people talk. There's been so many things throughout my life. The more I think about it, there are things I've pushed to the back of my mind and forgot about. And So it's really neat that you guys are doing this, and so it's pretty cool. And I've got a lot of other kind of stuff like that's happened over the years, but just something like just mainly like if people have had sleep paralysis. I don't even know what you call it, sleep paralysis or night terror. I don't know. There's specific words that people call it, but
right.
Yeah,
they kind of blend together depending on how it's going. But
there's a lot of different categories for dreams.
Yeah, and when you're visited by something, but it's a crazy thing, and I really appreciate the compliment. It's a huge compliment, and that's part of why we do this show. The fact that people can call in and share this stuff, and it makes it all feel like maybe we're not all as crazy. I'm not as crazy as I think I've been told I am. We've all gone through some weird stuff, and sometimes it's easier to repress those things, just move on. But some of them are like, I don't know, that was really weird, and I don't have like the right place to talk about it. Well, we have this show, and I'm so stoked to have people call in, want to share stuff and write about it in the comments. So it really means a lot, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Tales from the Inverted World, you guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Good night, guys.
Have a good
night. Another Christian band I just wanted to mention really quick for those who like this stuff, Cultist, is incredible.
Definitely sounds Christian to me.
Dude, I know.
As a joke.
I know. I hear.
As a Christian cult joke.
Listen, dude, you're going to love this
You
band.
guys better be laughing.
You have to listen to this band. They are insane. They're so heavy. I love them. They have like, I think 3 albums, but you guys might like them if you're into that super heavy stuff.
Speaking of super heavy, and since we were just talking about dreams, Shane, have you ever had a death dream?
Yeah, a lot. I have a reoccurring throughout my entire childhood.
The same exact dream?
Yes.
These things now can be triggered by actual traumatic events. They can be replays of situations that you've had, near-death experiences, things like that. Or they could just be randomized dreams of you experiencing your death. Mm-hmm. With the story that we just heard a little while ago, it reminded me of a dream that I actually had earlier this week. I haven't had one of these in a while. And it was a situation where insanely immersive. Like, I could remember every second of this dream. And it's one of those things where sometimes you have those dreams where you wake up and you don't even remember what you were just dreaming about. This was like burned into my conscience here. I was driving my truck around a path into like a parking lot area that I seemed to actually recognize. And I was heading towards the back, apparently, to just park there. I don't know what the hell I was doing there, but it seemed right at the time. And as I approached the end of the parking lot, I went to hit my brakes, and the brakes were not working. Oh, no. And the truck was continuing to go. And as I approached the end, I realized, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to stop. I'm going to go over this curb here. And at the end of the curb was like a 2-mile drop off of a cliff.
Hate that feeling.
And
in a dream,
I could remember the details so vividly. There were trees along the cliff line. I could see the leaves on these damn things flowing in the wind. It felt so real. I felt myself falling.
Yeah.
And I remember before going over the edge, I thought to myself, well, fuck it. Let's do it. Meaning, like, I had in just a moment of realizing that there's this, I was going to go over this and there was no way over it and my brakes weren't working. I basically came to the determination in my own mind, okay, fuck it, we're doing this. Wow. It's time to die.
Wow.
And I let it happen. I leaned back. I let go of the wheel in my dream, leaned back, felt the feeling of me falling. The truck was turning, was doing kind of like a 180 thing to the point to where now I was looking back at the sky and watching myself go down this mountain. And at one point, I closed my eyes and was just waiting. And I awoke, and my entire body was tingling.
Wow.
And I thought that was the point of death, but I was actually waking up from a dream.
Wow.
And I was like, well, what the fuck? I'm not going back to sleep now. Like, holy shit.
Right.
But I actually awoke with a physical feeling.
Yeah. Your body was like probably so tense.
Like, I don't know what the hell it was. I've never felt anything like that, but it was almost like all of my nerves were on fire.
Wow.
And it made me wonder if, like, having such an in-depth mental experience like that actually triggered my body to respond almost as if it was in that situation physically.
It sounds like it. It sounds
which
like
is crazy shit.
How long ago was that dream?
4 or 5 days ago, maybe.
Oh, okay.
It was either like Sunday or Monday.
Interesting.
I want to say.
Interesting.
And I was like, well, I woke up and I was like, well, shit.
Wow.
That's what I get for not smoking weed anymore.
It was a
You know,
bad Taco Bell.
No, I definitely didn't eat anything crazy that night either. But I did use cannabis for a really, really long time, and I didn't have dreams for like 10, 15 years. Just blackout sleep, wake
Yeah.
up, no
It's so weird
dreams.
how that happens.
Because I used to have such intense dreams, I hated it.
Right.
I'm not a huge. Sometimes dreams are cool, yeah, sure, but I usually have what he was referring to as like night terrors.
Yeah.
Where it's just something where it's absolutely terrifying. I'm in some situation I can't control,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to find a way out of it, you know, or I'm fighting for my life, or just something insane, which, you know, there's a lot of psychological stress and things that they attribute all of this stuff to.
Mm-hmm.
I've got plenty of it, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And you know, it's one of those things where like I'm just like, God damn it, why did I have to quit smoking? You know, like maybe I should go back.
The you don't have to get too deep into it, but you told the story before, like a long time ago, but like you've gone through like crazy trauma.
Yeah.
In your life, like
Massive amounts. And if you search death dreams on the internet, I will bring it up here really quick and save you the trouble. It talks about what this actually generally means. Now, dreams about death often symbolize significant changes, transformations, or emotional struggles rather than literal death. They talk about symbols of change, representing the end of a chapter in your life, emotional release, that is a way for your subconscious to process and release heavy emotions such as grief, guilt, or anxiety, fear of the unknown, reflecting anxieties regarding change and uncertainty in your life, personal reflection, providing insights into your personal life, and spiritual awakenings, which symbolize a rebirth or awakening and can signify a deeper connection with your true self or higher power. That seems like an Ian one. So there are a lot of meanings to these sorts of things, apparently, on a psychological scale. And it's, you know, sometimes you just chalk it off as, holy shit, that was a wild ass dream. And other times it can actually correlate from things that are going on in your life, and that is your mind trying to let go or rationalize it while it is dormant.
Absolutely.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, dude, that's a crazy dream. Let's get to another caller.
Let's do it. So let's bring on Dev. And if we got time, I'll get to a couple more
Sweet.
as we approach the witching hour on the East Coast. Dev, you are micless. You have no mic.
Our son had night terrors when he was real little, and it was a crazy thing to deal with because, like, they're not awake, but they're moving.
Dances with Aardvark says it can mean you are gay.
I think actually he got it. That's right. It should have been on that website.
Oh, no, I've caught the gay.
Imagine if that was the last thing. Or it could also mean you're gay.
I've got to go back to the doctor and get my blood tested for gay.
Please de-gay this man.
Do not want to test positive for gay.
Oh, getting Swifty says I've had teeth falling out. I've had those dreams. Yep.
Dev, you now have a mic, but it is muted. We are getting there. We are climbing the ladder.
Hey guys.
What's
There
up?
he is. What's up, man? Welcome back.
How are you guys? Good.
Good. How you doing?
Good. So, all right, I got a couple things. If you can go to, I tagged you in a video on X. It's called like the pen, and it's from a clip from Devs. It'll kind of give you an idea about why, or some dreams are kind of important, and maybe why like the universe, in my opinion, is deterministic in a sense, but it doesn't take away from our free will.
Who did you tag, Dev? Did you tag me or did you tag the inverted channel?
I tagged you, I believe.
I do
But
not see it.
Maybe it's on it's been a minute since I.
Oh, this is an
posted
old
it.
tag. Okay, hang on.
Yeah. But while we're waiting, do you guys? I believe that we have a spiritual currency that we are using at this moment by paying attention to one another. Actually, we're spending our time, which is the most valuable thing in this world, in my opinion, because we're all limited to a certain amount. So in that, I want to bring up a couple important points, but one of those points is that the pen video that I'm trying to show. I had a dream one time before I went to jail, and this sounds horrible, but before I went to jail, that I was going to jail, and at the jail that I was in, they didn't. The first time I was in there, which was stupid for weed or whatever, but the first time I was in there, it was basically I was in a pod with other people. And the reason I know that my dream came true in reality is because, like, when I had the dream, I knew that I was in solitary, and they put me into a solitary cell that time that I went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that there was a window, like a little window above, like where the bed was. So I was standing on the bed, and I looked out over the bed, out the window to the woods, and I could see the woods. And in my dream, that's exactly what I vividly
Wow.
remember seeing in my dream. Other than there was one difference, and that was there was a deer standing in my dream, but there was no deer standing there when I was in jail.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if you found that video or not, but
I'm still looking. I'm not seeing it.
okay, that's all right, man. The other thing that I was going to talk to you guys about was you might have met Doc Brown when you went to Nephilim Death Squad. What's their Bohemian Grove?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Doc
you
Brown.
met Doc
He's
Brown
the
there.
Bigfoot guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. He wrote that book about Esau being possibly like the first Bigfoot or something.
I have to get him on this show.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yes.
He can go into a lot better detail. He actually wrote a book about it.
I interviewed him on stage.
Oh, cool. That's
at
awesome,
the Bohemian Grove. Yeah, he rules.
Awesome. Yeah, shout out Prometheus Lens.
Yep.
But maybe like what we define Bigfoot as is like this like creature like the Jack Link's beef jerky Sasquatch or something like that, you know.
Right.
And it might be just like a different like species of human, you know, that could have like those 3-fingered things that people are thinking that they're like aliens or whatever,
Like
but
the Geico caveman.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Something like that.
Yeah.
But like and also my dad and I have a theory that could be like what they were describing as the giants too in the early stages of the Bible. But an interesting thing that I heard from Meta Mindcast, which is like this guy, his name is Robbie Marks. He said that so in the they call them the non-canonical texts of the Bible, but I like to call them the extra canonical text because like it kind of shows pieces of stories together that we don't have in the Bible that we're given in the King James version, at least. So like one of those things is like Esau had to give his birthright up to Jacob because like he was like basically dying or whatever, and so Jacob brought him the red lentil soup to like perform the ritual to whatever. Why Esau was hurt in the first place is something that Robbie Marks guy covers, and it's like it says in one of the extra canonical texts of the Bible that like Esau was hiding while Nimrod was hunting in the fields, and Esau jumped out and killed Nimrod and his 2 guards or something like that and cut off Nimrod's head. Well, Nimrod was such a great hunter because they say that Nimrod. Some people believe that Nimrod was wearing the skin of Adam. He was literally and he was like the first skinwalker.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
That's dark.
Yeah, that's wild, right?
That's dark.
Well, that skinwalker thing. So Adam was part of paradise before the fall of man, right? And so Adam's skin smelled like paradise, and the animals weren't afraid of Nimrod, so they would come up to him, and he could just kill them willingly, and the animals wouldn't do anything because they could smell paradise on Nimrod.
My goodness,
dude, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like I'm not taking that as being full
Right.
truth or anything like that or anything, but
extra
it's pretty
canonical.
interesting. Yeah, extra canonical. Exactly.
I see what you're saying.
Well, but yeah, dude.
So
let
where
you
was
guys
that
get
from?
to
That was from which one? I just want to look that up later.
Which text?
Yeah, like where were you reading that?
I actually heard it in a podcast. Robbie Mark's Meta Mindcast.
Okay.
Is the podcast I heard it on, but it was let me see. I might be able to pull it up here.
That's an insane image.
Did I just get a fucking email in the middle of that?
Was that you? Was that you?
That was Outlook for sure. I know that sound.
Nice.
That sound haunts my dreams for like 10 years now. I don't know if that was me though. I'm
Book of
pretty good about
Jasher.
keeping tabs muted. So
You said the Book of Jasher?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you for the
All
phone
right.
call.
Yeah, you guys have a great night.
You
Thanks,
too.
Dev.
Oh
Later.
man, that's wild. It reminds me of the scene, the movie Hercules, the Disney cartoon. I don't know if you've seen it, but I have. 'cause
I
of the
used to
kids.
watch it a long ass time ago.
There's
Yeah.
a moment in that movie where Hercules is wearing the skin of Scar from Lion King. It's wild. It's legit Scar. I only noticed it now, like watching it as an adult with my kids. I'm like, that's Scar. And then it sets up like the time frame now of like when Lion King happened, in the canon.
So wait, that suggests that he took him down and wears his skin as what?
It's like a cape. Look up an image really quick. Look up an image if you don't mind. Hercules wearing Scar. That might come up. I'll try to. Yeah, you'll see. Scar and Hercules. It's like over his head and like a cape.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Crazy detail. Crazy. I was like, no freaking way.
You could see the scar right there.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely Scar.
he's not fucking around. He took all the teeth out and stretched the damn jaw over his face and everything. Like he's like he found out what Scar did and he meant business.
Yeah. Yeah. Good Easter egg.
You're a real bad lion if a demigod comes after you and skins you alive and then decides to wear your skin around like Buffalo Bob. So props to Hercules. What
That's
a
right.
cold-blooded motherfucker.
Yeah. It's so good. That's a good one. All right. Who do we got next?
Oh my demigod. Let's get to who do we got?
I feel good making up for all the calls we didn't get to earlier this week. Sorry again for that.
Yeah,
but
we still got
we had
20 minutes. We're
interviews.
kicking ass.
Yeah.
We're kicking ass right down that road, that call road. Let's bring on Dusty Hughes.
All right.
Yeah, we still got 2 minutes. We're kicking ass. Yeah.
Any moment now. Dusty, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
We can.
Excellent. I'll have a kind of a cute little ghost story. I don't know if it's a ghost, but it's a story anyway.
Awesome.
Okay.
Take it away.
Years ago, I was heading off. I was living in the East Souk in Canada. I'm a darn Canadian.
It's okay. Not everyone's perfect.
And on Vancouver Island, right?
Yep.
And was heading to work, wee hours of the morning, because I was a postie. And I wasn't driving, so I was able to look out the window and enjoy the day, except for it was a really cloudy day. And came around this corner on Esook Road, and there was this cloud in the perfect shape of a Victorian woman that was about 3/4 of the way up the tree. So it was like all by itself. And it had the bustle and the bonnet, and it was the perfect shape of a Victorian woman. And I thought, okay, that's really weird. How in the world is that happening?
Right.
Well, then about, I don't know, maybe 6 months later, the local newspaper had an article that people had seen a ghost of the teacher in that very area. So I was guessing I saw the teacher.
Whoa. That's wild. How did you like stop and watch it for a while?
No, because my ex-husband was driving.
That bonehead ex-husband. Did he see it? Did he see it?
Yeah, he says, oh, yeah, whatever. He's just like, no, yeah, that's why he's an ex.
Bonehead. That's why he's a bonehead.
You broke up over the cloud. You're like, you know what?
No, I broke up over something a lot worse than that. But
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. But yeah, I mean, I see stuff in the clouds quite a bit, but I also am watching the clouds all the time because I don't believe in them. But the fact that you saw a story about people seeing the ghost of the teacher in that area, that's quite interesting. And all their accounts sounded like something that you saw?
Yeah, it was the right area and everything.
Interesting. That's crazy.
I thought it was bizarre. And the fact that it was like a cloud, like way far away from the cloud that was in the sky.
Oh, it was like it's doing its own thing.
Yeah, it was about 3/4 of the way up the tree.
Interesting.
And I thought, okay, that's really weird.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It was like it was lower than the other clouds.
Way lower.
So it was like okay. So yeah, I see why you're saying it's sort of a ghost story. But it sounds like it could be a cloud as well, or some sort of, who knows, fog, smoke.
Very, very, yeah. But it was quite dense. It wasn't like a fog. It was quite noticeable, and I was like flabbergasted a bit.
Did you know anything about the story of the teacher?
Not at that point.
And did you learn anything later on, though?
Well, yeah, after I read the article, I went, oh my golly goodness, I bet I probably saw the teacher that day going to work.
Interesting. Wonder if she had a bonehead ex in her life.
Oh, no, I don't think so, because I think they weren't allowed to marry back then.
Oh. Wild. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
I was the only lucky one with a bonehead.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I hope you got half the marital assets out of that situation at the very least.
And no, I got totally screwed.
Oh, that's got to be a Canada thing. What the hell?
I
Here
know.
you would have made out like a bandit.
Unbelievable.
No, not even slightly.
Well, you guys are on your way to becoming the 51st state, so pretty soon you will be able to reap that benefit on any divorce.
Yeah. Yeah. When we absorb Canada, tell me his name. We'll throw him in alligator Alcatraz.
Oh, okay, no
Is that
problem.
still there?
I'll give
We
you
still
his
have that?
address.
Yeah, I think so.
Fantastic.
Yeah, perfect.
It's good to know.
Awesome. Well, that's a fun story. Did you want to add anything else?
I was wanted to call in when Phil was with you guys because he was not. He was very, very, very skeptical about people kind of knowing things. And remember, I'd phoned earlier about telling you that I had these dreams and it was all weird and about my grade 1 tree and everything.
Yep. What do you want to tell him? He might be listening right now.
Well, a couple of weeks after I had called you, the lady I work with, she couldn't find her iPhone, or not her iPhone, her iPad. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, did you look in your car? And I don't know if she takes her iPad into her car or what she does with it, right? Because she's quite a messy person. But she says, oh, yeah, I looked there. And I said, well, I think you should look there. And I had no idea why I was saying that. And it ended up that's exactly where it was.
Did you have a vision of where in the car it was?
No, I hadn't a clue. I was determined it was there for some strange reason.
And anything else happened since where you're calling shots?
I haven't been paying attention because I've been too busy with Halloween costumes.
You make them?
Yeah.
What did you make?
Are you on back order right now?
No, we're into Christmas now.
Holy shit.
What kind of costumes were you making?
Well, I made, it was kind of fun because I made Kratos, War of God,
Okay.
or God of War.
Sweet.
And when the guy put it on, another guy came around the corner and said, "Oh, it's Kratos." And so that made me quite happy that I must have got it right.
Authentic.
Incredible. So you're making these by hand?
Well, I use a sewing machine.
Right. That's awesome. So now you're making Christmas, what are you making, elf outfits?
Yeah, I'm making some elf shoe covers right now.
Incredible. If you at some point try to tag us somewhere online if you're on Twitter so we could see these. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, we may need you to make our costumes for next year's Halloween show. Shane will just need you to knit him a pair of sunglasses.
That'd be cool.
I might be a little bit more of a pain in the ass to please, but Shane will be very easy, I promise.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I don't think you could wear the Kratos costume because I had to make it fairly big. This guy was huge.
Oh, I could totally do it. I could just be like Kratos on Ozempic, you know? I'll find a way to make it work.
Skinny one. That's awesome.
Well, I did make it so it was adjustable, so.
Nice. All right.
Amazing. You sound awesome. Is that what you do now? You're making costumes and stuff? What do you do? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Sick.
And I go to the shop and I tell guys to take their pants off so I can hem them.
That's amazing. You're really doing a lot for Canada tonight. I gotta say, you are making me like Canada so much more. That's awesome. Amazing. Well, I appreciate that.
I am on the island, so I'm not totally on Canada.
Okay, so you're not like totally infected with whatever disease they have. You're
No,
safe,
I stay away
quarantined.
from all that stupidity.
Was your bonehead ex straight up Canadian, or was he on the island too? What was his excuse?
Oh, well, he was actually from Calabria.
Where is that, in outer space?
No, it's in Italy.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah.
But he couldn't keep his pants on as soon as he saw a woman.
Man.
There you go.
Are you doing stand up? You got to do stand up. This is great. This is great stuff. I love it.
It's giving me a run for my money with the shtick right now.
Well, those Italians, my goodness.
I know. Well, I did do a little course on improv, which was really fun.
Oh, cool.
I did too a very long time ago. It was fun.
I actually did too. Yeah, I was in the Upright Citizens Brigade for a little while. It was hilarious. But Canada does have some great comedians. My favorite of all time is from there. So I do have a soft spot in my heart for them because of Norm Macdonald, the greatest of them.
He was
I've never seen so many dead hookers.
Dude, he was so killer. Well, you're awesome. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Anything else you want to shout out? Can you shout out, like, do you have a website for the things you make for people who want to buy some costumes or something?
Well, not really, because I just make them for the rental company. It's Disguise the Limit.
Disguise the Limit.
I saw what they did there. Marketing 101.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for calling back. You're awesome, and please do call back again.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I've got some more stories that I'll remember because I'm pretty old now, so I got lots of stories.
Awesome.
Fantastic. We will be here when you remember them.
That's right.
Okay. Thanks, guys, and thank you so much for your show.
Oh, thank you for listening. That's great. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Okay. Toodly-doo.
Tiddly-doo.
Toodles.
Gosh golly tiddly-doo. That's my favorite caller.
She got Shane riled up.
That's my favorite one.
Shane just broke his desk again for the 7th time
Yeah,
this
this
month.
thing is made of Formica. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Or like particle board.
Holy shit.
Oh,
That's
man.
the last thing I expected to come out of your mouth.
Gosh
Fantastic.
golly. Great callers tonight.
I think our soundboard is made out of some similar shit sometimes. I really do.
Yeah, that thing's possessed.
Oh my lord! All right,
let's do another caller. Let's see what we got.
So we got about 11 minutes left. Again, like, subscribe, share the show, smash that like button, or if you're the smartass that was in there earlier, push the thumbs up button. because they don't have a like button. I candidly replied they don't have a smartass button either, but thank you. And we are going to get to what is probably going to be our final caller of the night. Do not fret. I will get all of your names written down if you are a leftover in the lobby, and we will try to get to you another night. But in the meantime, let's go to G. Mali?
All right.
Malay? How do you say that? I don't know. We're going to find out. I had a Shane moment.
Bonehead. Oh, man.
All right. We got no mic. We got no cam. You are just a name right now in my lobby. If you can hear us, I'm going to need you to activate some communication devices stat here.
Amazing. I want to see the Credo, the God costume. I want to be sponsored by them. I'll wear all those costumes on every show now. Just, can you make me a black hoodie and a black jacket?
That's how I used to dress every night. That wasn't a costume at all. That was that was like, all right, I'm going out to the bar. Black everything.
Well, I don't know if I can do it though, because like there might be crazy tariffs, but it'll be worth it.
All right,
We'll
G-Bailey, we are going to
border.
come back to you because I am seeing no progress being made here. We will get you another time. Thank you for participating. And let's bring on Ron Ratliff.
Right.
Ron Ratliff. You are on the show. Can you hear us?
Sure can. Here, let me mute this real quick.
Sick.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We can. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. I just figured I'd give you guys a call and tell you how much I appreciate you. And if Phil's still listening or if he's in earshot, let him know that I appreciate him too.
Sick.
If he's not, sometimes Sarah is watching, and Sarah that remains will relay that information.
That's
hopefully,
right.
Shout out Sarah.
Well, thanks, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I figured I'd call in, and I tried to give you guys some kudos yesterday for bonking those frogs. This is the Ouroboros guy.
I was the frog bonker,
sick.
sir.
I missed all of that.
I
don't know
am
what was going on.
Spartacus.
That's too bad.
Look, well done. But I wanted to call in and see if you guys were interested. So I'm in a weird kind of a spot right now, and just figured I'd do a little bit of venting, if that's all right.
You got it.
Right now, I'm kind of coming through a weird closure of a really bad part of my life, and had to fully give myself to Christ, and I think that was one of the best things that I ever did.
Incredible.
And it really kind of pulled me out of a bad place.
Happy to
I'm
hear
probably the guy with the worst luck you've ever met.
I could probably stand next to you, brother. Not trying to measure dicks here or anything, but go ahead and continue with your story. Maybe you got me beat here.
Well, there's a couple of things before the age of 18 that I can't go into for legal purposes, but there is some things that I can. I was a very early parent, about 14, 15 years old, so I got started pretty quick.
Okay.
Found myself homeless very shortly thereafter. My dad thought that, well, if you're old enough to do that, you're old enough to figure out what you need to do with your life, and, well, I did. So I buckled up and did the best that I could, and stopped doing the metal thing and started getting my life together, man, and jumping headfirst into IT at the time and trying to figure out how to raise a kid and be a dad when you're still kind of a kid yourself, and going through a couple of other personal and psychological problems, throughout the way that are definitely in that book. If you're ever interested in reading, I'd love to send you guys a couple copies.
It's kind of crazy how IT is just like the next step when you're going through some shit. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, I definitely follow that. Minus the kid, of course. I abstained from the children, but I definitely feel you on that one.
Yeah, man, I jumped headfirst into IT, but then I got really good at it, and then I found out how good I was at it, and that became a problem.
Yep, it's like fucking whoops.
Yeah, I found myself in some trouble with Cellular One before they were Verizon back in the day, and that was not too much fun.
Nice. Okay.
But neither here nor there, and I found out very shortly thereafter, after my daughter turned 2 or 3, the state of Arizona out here decided to come and take her from me because I was the victim of domestic violence.
What?
Interesting how that happens.
Yeah, totally. So
Oh my
after
goodness.
having that happen, and my parents stepped in, being the amazing people that they are, and tried to step in and provide custody for my daughter. The state prevented them from doing that because I actually still lived in that house at the time.
Wow.
So, there was a lot more back and forth there. So then I spent about, 10 months, 11 months in a car, which wasn't great, trying to find a different job at the time, because trying to hold down a job in a car as well, as you can imagine, impossible. So I got my affairs in order and realized that I had to surrender my daughter to the state and go and get myself together financially, and then come back and do just that. And so I did. I got on a plane, flew out to Columbus, spent the better half of a year trying to do whatever I could. Ended up landing a really swell job with a bank that paid pretty well at the time, and took advantage of some of the skills that I had and was able to put me to work. And worked me for 8 months, harder than I've ever worked in my entire life, and immediately came right back to Arizona with about 30 or 40 grand cash in hand, and got my daughter back. Well, I didn't have a job. So now I'm back in Arizona, and now I have my daughter back. About a year later, she's turning 4 at the time. And yeah, now I had a bunch of money, and there's a bunch of stories there going back and forth with mom, and she's a homie hopper 9,000. She's on like child number 9 now. So she was a real run-of-the-mill mistake to make at 14. So that was
the old mom pound, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, found that out the hard way. But neither here nor there. But one of the good things that did happen in my life is I found the woman that I love more than anything in this world. She's my best friend, and her name's Brittany. And she's asleep right now somewhere, who knows. But when I met Brittany, she managed to come back with me after only being knowing me for 8 months.
Brittany is not an AI unit, is she?
No.
Okay,
no,
fantastic.
She is a fleshy being. As much as I would love to put a chip in her head, I don't think she'd let me.
IT guy. Now you're scaring me, IT guy.
Hey, man, I could tell you some horror stories. Don't get me started.
There's other ways to program your wives, gentlemen. You don't have to chip them, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's called social engineering and psychological engineering, and I can tell you all about that too. That's actually what I specialized in, with psychological engineering.
Whoa,
that's
intense.
intense.
It sounds like you're gonna have to call back for that.
We'll need that another time.
I want to hear all about that one, but let's hear the story.
I'd love to dive into. I give you that, but ultimately I came back across country with this woman that I was madly in love with, and she had aspirations of wanting to try to help me be a mom and fight this mountain of a battle against this corrupt county that I live in, and that was a challenge, but I won. I pulled it off in a mother's state, when the odds were against me. And trust me, dude, if you took one look at me, I got holes in my ears that are bigger than satellites. I got Sirius in one and XM in the other, and tattoos over 85% of my body. I'm not somebody that they just let walk into a bank anymore.
I mean, you sound like I was gonna say, you sound like a guy that we probably used to hang out with regularly. So,
hey, man, who knows? Maybe I am that guy.
Could be.
But the fun fact, that was just the beginning of my bad luck. That was just the beginning of things for me. I found out the hard way that about 30 years old, my wife just magically got diagnosed with a seizure condition out of nowhere. FND. And if she doesn't take her meds, she can't do. Obviously, I know people out there deal with this all the time, and have figured out how to work around this. We're still figuring it out together as a family too, and there shortly after that, between the stress of work, and sorry, my Roomba wanted to come and say hi. Let me go bonk it.
Yeah, please shoot that.
Check that thing for listening devices.
While he does that, my wife just saw a robot bartender.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Hey, man. But, no, so stupid freaking Roomba. But neither here nor there. She was diagnosed with this FND seizure condition there shortly after, and that kind of threw my life into even more of a turmoil, because I built this, what I thought was going to be a long-term successful thing of stability on some fragile ground, and that was a really hard thing for me to kind of wrap my head around. There's a big string of depression and alcohol abuse and a lot of other things there, man, that Christ really saved me from, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing here, and I don't take up too much more of your time, but thanks for giving me a platform to thank you.
I'm really glad that you found Christ and you have that as your anchor. And I'm sorry to hear about all the horrible stuff, but it looks like you've already won a few battles, and now there's a new one in front of you, and it sucks. But you guys sound like you'll find your stability and fight your way through it.
We are.
And we'll say prayers for you. I hope everyone who's listening says a prayer for you and your family. And it's harrowing, man. Everyone goes through this crazy stuff. Everything's a test, and a lot of people don't pass it. But sounds like you've been doing a pretty good job trying to just, keep your head above the water. And it's tough.
Got to find the light in all the darkness, brother.
That's literally all we can do.
Yeah, just got to keep on keeping on, brother.
Yep.
You got it, man. Well, if you want to learn more about that, you can buy my book. It's called Why, ironically. That was actually the title of the book. Yeah, thanks for reading it yesterday. I appreciate that. But it's Headaches and Voices in My Head.
Oh, cool.
It's the subtitles.
Tell everyone where they can find it.
It's on Amazon. It's free to read. It's on for Kindle Unlimited. So if you got it, go check it out. And even if it sucks, tell me it sucks. I don't care. Just I want somebody to know this story before I kick the bucket. That'd be great,
dude. I know that feeling. It's a great feeling. Look, you already got it out,
dude. I've thought about writing a book, honestly, but I just I know how much I hate to read, so it's I can't expect anybody else to want to read either.
No, dude, it's really I hate the idea. Well, I don't know if I hate therapy, but the idea of therapy, I don't do it, but it is therapeutic. And to put your thoughts onto the page, you start to make so much more sense of things, and also just you cleanse yourself a lot of stuff too.
It saved my life, guys.
Yeah,
dude.
It's
serious.
Incredible.
It really is.
Say the name of the book again.
It was Why, Headaches and those voices in my head again.
Sick. Awesome, man. I'm stoked. Despite all the obstacles you got ahead of you, you're going to figure it out. You got a good anchor. You got God. And call us back, man. You know where to find us.
I'd love to. Talk to you guys again.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, man. Take care.
God bless.
You too.
Roller coaster of an episode. I love this show. Pickpool says he loves therapy. By that, I think you mean this show, right? Because I am a therapist, actually. As much as I hate therapists, I took a course online for $15, and now I'm a therapist.
I honestly just listened to a shit ton of Loveline when I was a kid, and when Dr. Drew was here a couple months ago, I had to run from the studio over there to catch him before he went on IRL, just to tell him, hey, man, I listened to you and Adam Carolla a shit ton as a kid.
Yeah.
I was tired for school every single morning because I was up until 2 a.m. listening to you guys on Q101 back in Chicago. Shout out Q101. And I was like, dude, I never thought that I would ever be doing podcasting. Never thought I'd ever be talking to people for a living.
Yep.
You guys taught me how to do this without me knowing that I was going to need to do it. And now I'm able, I actually, anything that I do or say or know, and even how to carry a show at all, I owe to basically these guys for listening to them so much. So when you guys asked me to do this show, I was like, okay, so I just got to treat this shit like Loveline.
Yes.
And that's kind of,
I love it.
I've kind of, more on the Adam Carolla side, obviously, because he's the kind of smartass, but that's really, honestly, that's really all it took was
That's
just
great.
thinking back to the old days of listening to those radio shows at night and the shit that people would vent about the things that they were going through. It really gave you a lot of clarity over your own problems, and even helped kind of put you at peace with the fact that, man, some people have it way shittier than I do,
Absolutely, man. Dr. Drew, I was just going to say Dr. Drew is the man, and then I see Synchrotron saying Dr. Drew is the man. He is the man. We might have his wife on the show sometimes because he is not into this stuff, but she is big time into this stuff. Wild stories. Actually, Emily, who was on last night with the ridiculous turtleneck, she was on Dr. Drew right before us. I highly recommend watching that episode because they have a pretty funny dynamic there. But yeah, Dr. Drew, dude, him and Carolla, incredible. Great show, great hosts. Carolla's hilarious. So, man, that was a great episode. Thank you guys so much. Brandon, tell them where they can find you.
As always, you can find me at Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. As always, thank you to all of our callers, everybody for watching the show on YouTube and Rumble tonight. We appreciate you guys so much. We got one more show for you this week tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. Tune in for it. Don't miss it. And Taoism says, Brandon, you are natural and at home. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am all natural. These are mine. And not an inch of Botox on me anywhere. So thank you. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to stay weird. We'll see you tomorrow night. Shane, get us out of here.
Guys, rule. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for being in the comments. Shout out to Rumble and YouTube and everyone listening on all the other podcast platforms where you listen that we don't get to talk to when you listen tomorrow. But really appreciate it. Can't wait to be back tomorrow. Can't wait to hear from more callers. And I am your host, Shane Bonehead Cashman.
Nice.
Gosh golly and tiddly do.